Hey friends, today we're hanging out with Corinne for the Black Hills Connection podcast, and we're talking about, something that's on a lot of people's minds is job hunting.
Yes.
And getting a job / career.
Yes.
I have a friend recently who switched careers, and she, very qualified gal, and she put all these resumes out to like 10 people, got like one call back, and it was like, what's happening in the world, So talk about your business and how it all started.
Well, first I will say it's because the way we hire is broken. We create these job descriptions, which to me is like the fishing bait, and we throw them up on these job boards and we hope that we're going to attract the right person. But a resume only tells you what somebody's done, not what they're able to do or what they want to do.
Ooh.
And so for us, we've completely eliminated the resumes, the job boards, and job descriptions completely.
Oh, okay.
And how this kind of all started is I was a recruiter for many years. I don't know if some of your listeners or you remember Adecco Staffing. We were in town since like the 70s.
Yes, I do remember.
And so when COVID happened, recruiting kind of hiring became paused, and I got nervous and I ended up jumping, but I always had just this passion in me to try and solve this problem for business owners, but also for candidates like your friends.
Yeah.
Because I hear, and I have spent the last year and a half through a discovery process of talking to business owners and candidates and trying to understand, where are those frustrations? What are those timelines look like? And on average, it takes about 36 days to replace someone. So for 36 days, that project is stopped, that job is without, that business is without.
Yeah.
So projects get lost. Other staff usually have to pick up for that empty seat. And it just becomes very hard on business owners. But then talking with candidates, you hear, well, gosh, I submitted like 50 applications and I haven't heard back from anybody.
Yes.
It's a true thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's because there's a disconnect in how individuals and employers are connecting.
Sure.
And so going back to my story, I always kind of sat on this idea of like, how could we hire different? And the reason staffing agencies are so successful is we never hire for one position. We hire anybody, we welcome anybody and anybody through our doors, and then we get to understand who they are, what they want, what their goals are, what kind of environment they want to work in. And then from there, our brains are the matching algorithm to decide what business they're going to go to.
Okay.
And in today's world, why can't we create that? Right?
Yeah.
We have the technology that does all this stuff. And so over the last year and a half, I've been working really closely with Wildfire Labs, who's a software acceleration program here in town. And they've really taken it from, hey, I've got this great idea, to now we have a working platform that brings all of our candidates in through skills-based assessments. We understand who they are, what they've done, what they want to do, what kind of jobs they want, what kind of environments they want to work in, how much pay, what kind of team size, what kind of tools. So we really get to understand the candidate through this assessment. From there, they're done. Their name is in the hat for any job that they're qualified for, any match. They have, the employer will have their information. Our employers, it's a little bit different. You sign on, you create a business profile. We walk you through an assessment, understanding who you're looking for, what they've done, what you want them to do, what kind of motivators do you offer, like what kind of ideal work environment, can somebody fit into?
Sure.
From there, they hit a button, they're instantly matched with candidates, and within 15 minutes, they can be on the phone talking.
Wow.
Now, one thing I have done just through the discovery is I've really niched it down. Originally, I wanted this platform to be for everybody in every industry. But you can't be everybody to everything to everyone.
You really can't. It's true.
So through my background with Adecco, I did a lot in the trades and the, specialty type positions with like field techs. And so there's a certain comfort level with me in that industry with construction and trades, but it's also an industry that needs it the most. I personally think they have the highest turnover rates. When people do leave, they're lost with messes to clean up from mistakes, longer timelines for their customers who they're doing business with, their community. And it just leaves them in a pickle. And so I really did niche down, and I and I decided on construction because I just felt like they needed it the most.
Okay, so that's kind of who your focus is on then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we service candidates, everything from entry level all the way up to like project managers, and our goal is even getting in like the bookkeepers and you know, the other positions that support the business as well.
Okay.
So we do want to have like an admin side, you know, marketing side, that kind of thing, but it's really sticking to that industry of construction for right now.
Okay.
And our goal is to prove the concept over the next year, and then we are able to take that model and duplicate it and start spreading it into other industries.
Gotcha.
So this is kind of our trial run.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And it's called Plenty of Hires.
Plenty of hires, and the reason for that is we want you to be able to find plenty of people in one spot.
Yeah.
But going back to that human connection, instead of an employer getting 40, I'm literally hiring I work part-time with Black Hills Home Builders, and we are hiring, and I received over 47 applications, and it took me almost 8 hours to go through that process of, you know, narrowing them down, pre-screens, that kind of thing, where I look at is if I had the system that I could use in this, you know, I wouldn't have to do that.
It'd be easier.
And all of your candidates are ranked based on skill sets and percentages, and we've got 8 different categories that we look for fit in.
Okay, wow. Yeah, because I know like when you're like filling out resumes and like handing your resume out or whatever, you're just like I know this is like me and what I've done, but like they don't know me.
They don't know you.
You know, it's just like I could wow them if I just got in front of them.
I just had that chance.
It's like that Elle Woods video, right?
It is. And the other thing too is like, it gets desperate. When you're looking for a job, you become desperate. You start applying for things that maybe are out of your industry or out of your skill set, because at the end of the day, you just want money. You just need to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And it's really daunting when you spend months and everybody says they're hiring, but if I'm being honest, hiring managers are not getting back to you because there's so much fluff and noise in the inbox from those job postings. Wow. That it can almost feel like a headache to have to go back and check those reviews or those resumes. You know what I mean?
I never thought of it on that flip side. But yeah.
Because a lot of times business owners are in the field. They're managing this. They've got that to deal with, you know, sitting at a computer looking through resumes, especially most of them didn't go into construction and into business because they're great at hiring.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true, yeah.
They go into it and get into it because either they're done working for somebody else or they're just really good at their craft and they're ready to do it on their own.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been something you've been thinking about a while, and so now it's sort of finally rolling out.
Yes, yes. So I spent about a year and a half in discovery just having conversations. I went through a program, it's called I-Corp. So I had a certain amount of people I had to talk to, but through that, the beginning was really figuring out what are the problems and how can we solve them. From there, then it was, okay, so now we know there's problems and we know we can provide a solution, but how do we build that? So then we went through another 3 months or so, you know, figuring out you never think when you hop onto a software that somebody's had to think about what every single button has done, what every single journey will do, what every single word says.
Right.
So it took a while to kind of get that and compile it into a usable platform. And then in June of 2025, we did not have the platform built, but we built the assessments. And then I was the brains behind it. So the candidates would come in, the employers would come in, and then I would utilize my brain and my recruiting background. And that's how we crafted the algorithm to get together.
Okay.
And so then now, since September, we've been working on the front end and the back end and building out all the screens and the dashboards and the technology and the logic behind it.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we are finally here.
Yeah. Okay, so if like people look you up, like what's the process?
So you just go to plentyofhires.com. If you're a candidate, there's a button right on the top right that says Candidates Start Free or Start Here.
Oh, okay.
Candidates are always free.
Okay.
So any candidate can come into our platform. There is no cost. Now, we do understand that sometimes you want to be the shiny penny, right? So you can, if you would like to, bump up your subscription to our premium, which you then get to add like project photos, achievements, a personalized bio, a cover letter, that kind of thing, which just, again, making yourself look a little better. And then we also offer incognito mode, and that's the part I should really tell you about.
Oh, okay. What's that?
So there's not really a way for candidates who are passively looking to look for work. We live in Rapid City. It's kind of a smaller town. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's the new boss. Maybe there was a buyout at the company and you're just like, oh, I'm just not feeling like this is my place anymore.
Sure.
It's scary going out and now just randomly applying to places.
Yeah.
Because you never know where your third cousin's manager
or who's
works.
Say something to somebody. Yeah. I know, right?
Yep. So for $8 a month, candidates can come on and they'll be an incognito candidate.
Oh.
We'll show all of their skills. We'll match them to all the jobs. But employers will never know your first name, last name, or current employer or previous employer until you approve that connection.
Oh, wow.
So we'll still put all the information in front of those hiring managers, but for me, I know as a recruiter, passive talent, which is talent who is currently working, just thinking about making a move, they're like gold in the recruiting world.
Yeah, okay.
So I wanted to find a way to get those passive candidates back out on the market and give them new opportunities with new places that they'll be happy
For sure.
in long term.
That's great. I mean, I feel like you've been in this business a long time, and so you know.
I have. I've been hiring longer than I'd like to admit. Actually, coming out of college, I owned a business. I hired for that business. I had staff. I don't think there's any positions
that you haven't done.
My jobs, in my careers over the last 20 years that I haven't hired.
Yeah.
For something.
I mean, so for people out there, you know, looking for a job around, like, is there advice, like, from you as a sort of like an expert?
Don't give up. It's not personal. A lot of times that job seeking can feel very daunting and it's not. It's not personal.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, at least in my discovery, what I've uncovered is business owners don't have the time to spend hours going through resumes.
Gotcha.
The other thing that I will say is pick up the phone. If you do apply for something and you don't hear from somebody, you know, if you're on the job boards or anything like that, a nice email, a nice follow-up, a nice check-in, like, hey, did you get my application?
Sure, yeah.
I'd love to meet with you. And really look closely. If you're going to use the job boards, which I personally am not one that has fun on those. I've actually gotten most of my jobs through word of mouth. I've never actually.
Okay, yeah.
I've had to use them, but never been a job seeker on one. But yeah, you just can't give up. You got to keep pushing through and apply. Really look at the job descriptions to make sure that it is something you're qualified for.
Cool, because I was going to say, in some of those jobs, like, you're like, I don't know if I would like this. Like, how do you know?
How do you know?
How do you know?
Right? Because somebody was great at a job description or they weren't. Usually it's one of those.
Yeah, and you don't.
So.
Yeah, I guess that's another, like, word of mouth, like, or maybe, like, contact people who have worked there.
Yep.
And get, like, a vibe of, like, hey, what was it like to work there?
What was it like? And I also feel very wholeheartedly that during that interview process, it is your time to interview that employer and that business just as much as it is their time. I know a lot of job seekers don't always have that confidence to ask those questions and dig into company culture.
Sure.
But one thing I've learned and I've seen through the course of my career is if you do something that you love and enjoy and you wake up excited about it, there's no reason life can't be good.
That's the thing, right? Like, when you wake up, it's like, do you have, like, a sort of a sense of dread? Or are you like that's kind of like a sign, right?
It is definitely an early on sign that something's not equating. There's some fit. And a lot of times it comes down to the culture. It comes down to management and personalities.
Yep, absolutely.
And yeah, so you just got to be, and two, my recommendation for employers is don't judge somebody based on how long they've worked at a company.
Oh, okay.
I see a lot of the business owners that I've talked to that do prejudge resumes based on
jumpers, sort of.
Yes, they're a jumper.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know why they jumped.
Sure.
You don't know why there's a gap. There could be an illness in the family. They had to go, leave suddenly to go do something.
Okay.
They could have had a bad manager. I know. Sure. I think about my husband, not to air his dirty laundry, but when he came out of the military, it took him 3 or 4 companies to find somebody that appreciated him, that paid him well, and the work that he enjoyed.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to try things before we find our niche.
That is true, because like you said, you just don't know if you're going to like the job until, like, you're sort of in it and you're like, well then.
This is what I signed up for. So, and I'm pretty sure everybody probably has at least one of those
done
stories.
that before. Yeah, no, for real. And so that's why I think this is interesting about, what your line of work is now, because it's sort of like more molding people and making sure it is the right fit before we're like jumping in.
Exactly,
sort of
exactly. And I have a lot of plans to expand the app. Obviously, we're going to go to market first, but we're working on a retention tracker to also help employers be better at retaining. I go back to that old theory. Most of these business owners didn't get into business because they're great at the hiring and retaining piece.
Yes.
So how can we empower them to do it on their own without it costing, trying to get a business consultant to come in is incredibly expensive and pretty unaffordable for a lot of companies.
Right.
And too many times do I see there's just a difference in an opinion or a fit or whatever that looks like. So how can we help you retain that person? Not just hire them, but have them grow. Because if you can keep your people and retain and grow your workforce, your business will grow.
Yes.
If you don't have the right people in the right seats doing the right things, you will never get past that ceiling.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I do feel like, it is a culture thing. Like I've been in different jobs where like this job where like I feel valued, I feel part of a team. It's like you want to, even if it's like not the best or coolest job or whatever, like you still want to stay there because of the people, how they treat you.
Yep.
It's a real thing.
And looking, we're all human. We all have different motivators. We all have different things that we want. Some people, through my discovery, some candidates, it's all about the money. That's all it is. They'll jump for $1. They don't care. But then I've talked to the majority of the candidates, probably about 75%, that were like, I don't care how much I get paid. I just want to be appreciated. I want to be recognized. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to get better.
Yeah.
But a lot of time that mentality is we're just going to throw them in, and if they sink or swim, 30 days. You know what I mean?
Right, like the probation
You're
area
just not going
or
to maintain and retain people with that type of mentality.
Yeah.
And I have seen a shift too in the generations of what those motivators are. This newer generation, they want flexibility. They want to be appreciated. They want to have their voice heard. Whereas, even in my generation, we weren't always told to speak up for what we want.
like you just show up, you do that job, and you don't complain.
Yep, you're lucky to even be here.
I'm like boomer generation, you know what I mean? Like it's just you don't talk back or.
But unfortunately, that's not.
Different.
It's definitely different. And COVID did shift a lot in workforce, offering more remote opportunities.
Yes.
And people want to feel like they have security. That was the one thing that I got most out of my candidates is that word security.
Yeah.
So many of them feel insecure in their roles.
Wow.
So many feel like at any moment they could walk in and I'm just a number to them.
Done. Wow.
And that's kind of a scary thought, especially in today's economy, where in housing and,
Like you literally have to, I need a house and food and like I can't just be fired.
No.
Yeah.
And so if we can start off getting people into the right seats with the right fits and the right companies, life will be good on both sides, right?
Awesome.
Employers can succeed, candidates can grow, and you won't see this massive shift anymore of jumping around. So that's my goals. My big goals, I want to change the way the world hires, but we're going to start right here at Black Hills. We're going to start at the Black Hills first. We're going to see how that goes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if people want more information or if there's anything else you want to add about Plenty of Hires?
Yeah, like I said, candidates sign up for free. There is a cost for employers to use the system, but it's $249, but we're offering a $99 a month kind of starting to grow with us, and we will launch to employers publicly in March. And so I'm just really excited to see how this is going to work and how we're going to change lives for people. So
yeah, it is exciting. Okay, and then they can find that information on the website.
On my website, yes, plentyofhires.com.
Okay.
And the app is app.plentyofhires.com.
Okay, so there's an app for that.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So.
All right, thanks, Corinne.
Yeah,
Appreciate
so
your time
fun.
today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You bet.
I
All right,
appreciate it.
you guys, see you next time.
Bye.